right. Well, I'm full of Thanksgiving food. I'm trying to wake up from my various food comas. Having two Thanksgiving can be quite taxing on the body. I'm sure you understand.
Amen to that. Absolutely.
How you doing? Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to you too. I'm doing quite well. Lots to
Yeah.
be thankful for this year.
Yes, you're right. I think that at the end of the show, instead of we usually do, we'll do like a little. What are we thankful for in the sports world? Let's do a little bit of that. That's good, isn't it?
That's great.
I
I
see the
like that.
smile across your face. That's like it's like you get a little excited about that. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. A
A
little
little
on the
twinkle in my
fly,
eye.
little twinkle.
Yeah.
You hear any Christmas music yet?
Uh, Only on a few commercials, like car commercials and stuff. That's about it. So I'm not in the mood completely there. But after this weekend, after the Michigan game, that really for me is when uh, that's when it's time to be Christmas now. Thanksgiving's over, fall's over, college football is kind of wrapping up, and it's
You
time to get into Christmas season.
you get your anti-Michigan aggression out of your system, and you're ready for the holidays.
That's right. It's a purge of all your hatred, and then the holidays happen. Unless, of course, Michigan wins, in which case that carries all the way through to New Year's. But here's what's crazy: we haven't experienced that in a very long time.
A Michigan win?
Yeah, I don't really Ohio State losing to Michigan in our really since we've been football fans, it's only happened three times, I think, that they've actually lost to them. And one of those three times was kind of a throwaway season, anyways, with Luke Fickle and like right before Urban Meyer.
Well, I don't have the numbers, but I don't know if that's totally true. I mean, when we became football fans, we were born and raised Ohio State fans, so we've had Ohio State and what's happening with them in our consciousness for 30 years. You know what I mean? So it's like, of course, in the 90s and the early 2000s, those Michigan teams were great. Even in the mid 2000s, there was some back. I mean, Tressel wasn't just dominant, wholly dominant against Michigan. But are you looking
He
at it right now?
absolutely was. He absolutely was wholly dominant.
Refresh my
Uh,
memory, and this is just going to prove your point, and I'm totally fine with
okay,
it because it's Ohio State dominance. All you Ohio
so
State
this
haters that are out here listening to this, cover your ears or something because this won't
that's
be pleasant
exactly
for
right.
you.
This is going to be a big Homer segment here. I've been thinking about this, reflecting on my thoughts on this rivalry leading up to the rivalry. I've been thinking about this a little bit on like what this means to us and as Ohio State fans and Michigan fans and like our childhood, like when we were kids, like from the years I don't know 1990 to the year 2000, it felt like you know it was a bummer this time of year because Michigan kept whooping Ohio State the John Cooper years, and he beat Michigan one time, and it felt awful, right? And so we just always have this ingrained feeling of like, oh, Michigan wins every year, like it's real even, and the games have been close. But let me just tell you that since since 2001, so since the turn of the century, Michigan has only beaten Ohio State three times since 2001.
That's insane.
It is insane. They won in 2003, and I think back at that time, Ohio State they were coming off the national championship year, so they were ranked pretty high. So they won that year. Okay, then they won in oh no, they won in 2011, that Luke Fickle year. Other than that, Ohio State won the one game in 2010. Ohio State won that game, but it got vacated. So that's why I thought that they won three times. Michigan's only won twice since 2001. That's utter domination.
It
You know what I
really
mean?
is. It's interesting that you brought up the years in the '90s, and that's when we were, young boys. Um, Maybe that's why we still. That's going to sound so rude to say considered a rivalry. It absolutely is. That's not changing. I hate the James Franklins of the world, which, by the way, that contract is absurd. But like
Absurd.
that dude who goes off and says, paraphrasing, oh, even though Pitt and Penn State have been playing for over 100 years, that it's not really a rivalry anymore. Screw that guy. That guy can go fuck
Yeah,
himself. I'm just gonna say it. You don't say
well,
that. Well, I'm just saying you don't say that. Like it is a rivalry. It's interstate. It's the biggest rivalry Pennsylvania's got.
It
Like,
is. It's huge.
it's just that's the ultimate disrespect you can say is that's not even a rivalry.
That just shows how little he knows about the institutions that he is a part of. You know what I
I don't know
mean?
where he came from, but
Wasn't
you,
anywhere good.
but that's what. So I'll never say. I mean, even though, like you just said, two times in the last 20 years that Michigan's won, I still the groundwork for you and me at least was laid. I hate Michigan. I never want. I don't. I want to beat them every single year. The sign of a good successful season. You can go. You can lose every other game if you beat Michigan. You're doing okay. Like I'm fine with that. It's as much as that would suck. Like you got to be the team up north, right?
That's exactly right.
I wonder
Well,
though. I
yeah,
wonder
yeah,
if you're born in 2003. You are now what 19 years old, 18 years old. You've seen Michigan win once. Like
yeah.
that's. I mean, if you're an Ohio State fan, if you're a proclaimed fan, then you get it. I would hope that you get it. But there's always going to be some of those peripheral fans that, oh yeah, I grew up in Ohio and I'm not really into sports, and but yeah, I like the Buckeyes. Everybody gets excited about them. And what's this Michigan? I'm sure there's always going to be some of those people, but it's the biggest rivalry in college sports.
Yeah, they people that were Ohio State fans that are born in 2003 haven't felt the pain that we
Mm.
felt. You know, like they don't know what that even is like. Is losing to Michigan. It's a shameful thing. That team is a shameful team that loses to Michigan. You know, like it's you just can't do it. And we've unfortunately for us, we haven't experienced this. But going back to just real quick on the just historical feeling like Michigan's dominated Ohio State, despite the last 20 years of utter dominance, they still are 58 and 51 and 6. You know, so Michigan's won more still after 20 years of Ohio State dominating. That just shows you how historically it's been. So we still have a lot to fight for here. You know, like we gotta get more wins than them. We
We
gotta
do.
win the rivalry record.
We
So
we
let's just
do
keep on rolling next tomorrow.
we do have a lot to fight for. Because we're bringing all this up, we're going to lose tomorrow, right? I
Oh, they're
mean,
gonna lose. Oh, they're definitely gonna
the
lose.
set number two in the country. This will put Michigan like
The
in the playoff. Oh, I don't know, will it? I mean, I think so. This is for the big.
Yeah, oh, it will.
Yeah,
If they win, they'll go to the Big Ten championship. They're ranked 5 now. If they beat Ohio State, they'll be in the top 4. They'll be in the playoffs. And who wants to see Michigan in the playoffs?
I was just
Ugh.
looking. I was looking back because I was on DraftKings. I was not looking to put some money down, but I like doing some of those same game parlays, and I didn't realize it until just moments ago that you can't put like on specific college players. It's just like the team stuff. Um, but I was looking through Michigan's record, and they've had some close wins to like Nebraska and I mean Michigan State was a close game, and
They lost to Michigan State.
oh, right, right. Well, it was close, but yes, they lost. Um, but
Close against Penn State, too.
that's what I was thinking. But
Yeah.
Ohio State, they're kind of catching their stride. They should win. I mean, they absolutely should. I think everybody's picking them to win.
They
But
should win. This is how it
this
is in a
game
big
doesn't
rivalry
matter.
game.
Anything can happen,
We
man.
know it doesn't matter. In fact, the times where they should win, a team should win, that's when Ohio State loses. You know, or that's when there's an upset. You know what I mean? Whether it's Ohio State or Michigan, like it's when all the expectations are on one team. That's when the upsets happen. When it's like, oh, who knows who's going to win? Luckily, lately Ohio State's come out on top, which is good. But I don't know. It's gonna be a long day tomorrow.
And I will say it will be a long day, and I will say that Ohio State has not early in the season. Their first like 4 games, they did not look good. I mean, they have a loss
Bad,
in there. They only lost to Oregon, who just got whooped
right?
up on by oh gosh, who was it? It was like
Utah,
Utah. That's right. No, Utah State. I think it was Utah State. It doesn't matter. It was one of the Utahs. Um,
one of the Utes.
well, the Utes are Utah. What does it matter? Um, hey, other college football stuff.
Yeah,
Pitt, baby, they're in the ACC championship game
ACC championship. How amazing is that?
next Saturday. I think they'll be playing. I think they'll be playing Wake. Is that
If
locked
if
up?
it's not locked up, if all Wake needs to do is win against Boston College, which they should win that. Boston College is 6-5. Wake is 9-2, and they're ranked 18th. So a victory there would guarantee them the spot in the ACC
Who else would it
championship game.
be?
If they lose, now that's when things get kind of crazy. So assuming the other two teams that are in it right now are Clemson, which that would be a travesty if Clemson sneaks their way into the ACC championship, because they beat Wake Forest, and so but they still have one extra loss. So it's Clemson and NC State are the other two. So if NC State wins, then I think and Wake Forest loses, I think they might edge out Clemson in the tiebreaker. Don't quote me on that, but that's how they have that outside shot of making it too.
I will quote
So
you on that. You're on
oh,
record.
I'm on. This
That's
is right.
exciting
It's
though.
true.
Big moment for Pitt football, baby. It's a big deal. The Nard Dog getting it done. And I mean, listen. Here's the deal. Everybody will be like, "Oh, well, Clemson's having a down year. The ACC's kind of crap." Don't listen to that garbage. That's not true. And I'll also say this: this is exactly the year that if you're a Pitt and you've always kind of been like knocking on the door, you've made it to ACC championship, you've lost to Clemson. Like you've always kind of been in that like top of the coastal for like the last 5 years, something like that. The down year for a Clemson is the year you have to capitalize on it. This is you don't get many of these opportunities because Clemson's still going to be Clemson. They're going to be
Right.
they've got a sophomore quarterback, like they're figuring things out this year. They'll be right back up there next year. This is the year you got to take it. That's the only way to start to really gain a lot of traction in the conference. So
That's
this
right.
is a big deal for Pitt. Big deal.
It's a huge yes. It could put Pitt on the map if they win. If they win this AC championship game, no matter who they play, because honestly, if they play Clemson, Pitt's beat Clemson.
Yeah.
So like so
Oh, no,
hey,
no. I don't want to play Clemson. I do not want to play
I don't. Well,
Clemson.
listen. I don't want to. I'm just saying. I don't feel like I really hope that there's one opponent that's just going to crush Pitt. Like Pitt's got a chance to win
Oh,
against
yeah.
any of
I
those
think
three
they're going to be
opponents.
the favorite no
You
matter
know?
what.
Yeah, which would be amazing. So if Pitt can win, they're going to go to a good bowl game, a New Year's Six bowl game as the ACC champion. They'll go to like the Orange Bowl or whatever.
Tostitos Bowl.
Yeah, they'll probably play like a Cincinnati or Notre Dame, and that would be awesome. I would be down with that.
Oh, sorry. It's the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. Man, how did Tostitos why did they give that up? That wasn't even,
you
it
know
wasn't
why
even pandemic related. It was like,
you want to know why they gave it up?
tell me.
It's because for all of eternity, we're gonna still call it the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl. They
They
don't need
don't
to
need
spend the
it.
money on it anymore. They don't need it because it's like it's the Fiesta Bowl. Of course, people are gonna be eating some tortilla chips. So that's
That's
it's
true. That's true.
money well saved, I should say.
What's Tropicana been doing? I mean, the Orange Bowl. I mean, let's go. What are you doing here? Minute Maid? I mean,
Is Minute Maid? Wait,
no,
who
it's
is the
not.
sponsor of
That's
the
my
Orange
point.
Bowl?
It's not. It's always just going to be the Orange Bowl because it was played at back then. The stadium was the Orange Bowl. It's no longer. It's Hard Rock now. They played Hard Rock.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Now it's called the Capital One Orange Bowl, which is
Right.
even more confusing because there was a Capital One Bowl that was independent of the
You're right.
Orange Bowl.
You're right.
I hate bowl games. Bowl games suck. Like honestly, they should just do away with them. It's
Why do they suck?
or
Tell me why they suck. Because they all sound made up. They're just like cash grabs. Yeah, I get that. That's true.
okay, hold on. So let me put it this way. I don't like how corporatized bowl games I think have become because back in the day, back when before we were around, I think there were actual legitimate bowl games that still exist today, but that they were just there. They were like institutions or whatever, like that run the bowl game. That it's just a tradition that you
The
do.
Rose Bowl.
Exactly, the rose and that's why the classic bowls, the sugar bowl, and the bowl games that are named for things that aren't corporate sponsors are awesome, and they should have as many of those and set up traditions of all those types of things. But when you start actually like calling the bowl games the corporate, like call it the Orange Bowl presented by Capital One. You know what I mean? Like not the Capital One Orange Bowl, or what's even worse, like the corporate bowl game, like the Papa John's Pizza Bowl. Like who? I mean, okay, I probably picked the best one. That was not a good example, but like the MicronPC.com Bowl or something like that. Like that's garbage. Who wants to play in that? Who wants to win that? Whatever. Maybe I don't know.
I don't know,
It's a
man.
waste.
The
Don't
Meineke
want to
Car
watch it.
Care Bowl. That's the Golden Touch. Wait, that's Midas. Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Point taken. I mean, what are you gonna do? Like, I would rather see. You know what I would rather see? I mean, we can do this all day long. None of this is gonna happen. But this is our show, so let's fucking do it. Wouldn't it
That's
be
the whole point of
cool?
what we do.
Wouldn't it be cool? You have okay. Let's say you have an 8-team playoff, conference championships, and then three more. Those you can take the most popular, most revenue generating bowls. Keep those bowls the same. No other bowls. Then what you could do, and you can still get your money this way, but you just have some like you call them holiday expositions or exhibitions. They were like, yeah, okay, oh wait, Michigan didn't make it because they lose tomorrow, and they're like, hey, freaking Washington, or maybe that's a terrible pick. Who's on the front? Hey, Notre Dame, Michigan, Notre Dame. If you just say, hey, because again, you have a month to figure this out. You could have a whole committee the whole season long if this was the setup, just figuring out, okay, who's in our range? Let's start talking to some people like, hey, Notre Dame, if you don't make it, what do you think? Like, you want to have a little Michigan Notre Dame match? It's very regional. It doesn't cost a ton to get to play. Whatever, the travel's easy. Some network's gonna buy rights to that, and it's a little chaotic because you're still figuring it out on the fly a little bit. But you can plant the seeds, and you could have.
Here's
I
how.
mean, everybody's gonna go that game, Michigan Notre Dame. Even if there's nothing on the line. There's no bowl. There's no nothing. That game's gonna sell out.
Oh yeah, it would be huge. What about like adopting some type of like a model that preseason college basketball teams do? You know, like where they do like invitationals, where
Ooh.
it's like, oh, it's like so like hear me out. What if like you know how like there's like the NIT tournament against the NCAA tournament? What if there's like what if we could set up these institutions that have like these invitational playoffs where there's like a four-team playoff 2 weeks in December where Michigan, Notre Dame, Michigan State and Penn State or whoever they do a four-team playoff for what insert trophy here, and that is the postseason for teams that are otherwise good but aren't going to be in the consideration for the actual national football playoffs. So all the organizations make money. The fans of those universities will watch it. They're going to pay for it. It's basically two more games on a season, and it helps solve some of the problems that this consolidation of the national championship playoff system has happened on with recruits and all that type of stuff. You actually have other opportunities for people to want to go to other schools to where maybe they can highlight themselves in some of these postseason tournaments that otherwise don't exist.
So essentially, all we've done here is take a bunch of meaningless trophies and make just a couple meaningless trophies. I mean, who gives a shit about the
Any
NIT? No,
trophy.
think about that.
Listen,
Who gives a shit about the NIT? We're just taking the Meineke Car Care Bowls, the BBVA Compass Bowl. We're just taking all those, getting rid of them, and we're just saying, hey, we're gonna have like a others receiving votes one trophy for whoever gets that. That's all we're really doing.
but it sounds cooler. Doesn't it sound cooler?
It sounds fine. It sounds like what it is, but I don't know that it's like the issue at hand here is that all these things feel like money grabs. We're just giving less people opportunities to grab money. That's all. That's all that system really does. Like, listen, if you're a fan of Michigan, they're going to make it to a bowl. They'll make it to the the Outback Bowl or something like that. Like not like it's the two ranked teams. There'll be two ranked teams. It'll be like Michigan versus like UCF or
Wake
that's a
Forest.
terrible example. Wake Forest. Yeah, Michigan Wake Forest. If you're a fan of Michigan, you're gonna watch the game. You'll want them to win. It'll count for the coach's bowl record. All this stuff. Like so, this new setup, all you've really done is make it so that like the Capital One can just take the whole tournament and say, This is the Capital One Invitational Tournament for the
Make the bigger,
ranks 9 through 20.
but it's bigger deal though because you can still kind of in all this in this subjective world that college football is, you can kind of prove, hey, out of these four teams that were kind of grouped with us, the best one.
I don't know. I don't know. I like it. I'm cool riffing on this, but I think we're just kind of like, I think we're just taking, instead of finishing our food, we're just like spreading it around. We're just playing with it. We're making it
But
look,
that, but
we're
that,
making it look like
but
we
that,
ate it, but we didn't really eat
but
it.
that, but that makes it much less uncomfortable at the dinner table when you clean your plate up. You know what I mean? So
Upsetting Aunt Ruth.
it's yeah,
You
exactly.
just
It's a
smash the
nasty.
Jello thing, kind of spread it into your.
Yeah, exactly. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, this is great. I'm just so full. Oh,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's objectively a better
I couldn't
situation at the dinner
possibly have
table.
another bite.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's better
That's
than
what
saying this is
I mean.
gross. Feed this
It's
to
an
the dog.
improvement. It's an improvement over the alternative.
Um,
Moving
Browns
on.
Ravens tonight or this Sunday. This is a big game. I'm transition.
Oh,
I'm changing
yeah. Oh,
topics,
are
dude.
you really? I thought
Browns Ravens Sunday night football. See the fingers? They're pointing. It means it's a big game.
it's a big game.
Pitt,
It's a big game. It's a bigger game for the Browns than it is for the Ravens.
completely disagree. I don't know why you why
The Browns need to win this game. If the Browns don't win this
why.
game, because their playoff hopes are in serious jeopardy if they don't win this game.
I don't think that's
They
true.
have to win this game. Is it in Baltimore?
Yeah.
They got to win this game.
Why? Why do they have to win this game? They play them literally in 2 weeks. They have a bye and then they play Baltimore again. I mean, you got to win. I mean, you got to win both. This isn't like a must-win. No one's in must-win scenarios unless you've got 4 wins on the season because you're still in the playoff hunt. You gotta win, like the Eagles right now. The Eagles, and they have a good stretch of teams coming. I think we talked about it last week, but they have to win. They're playing the Cowboys this week. I think. Might be wrong on that. The Giants, maybe. They're playing a divisional game. I think they're playing the Giants. They have got to win that game.
Which team did you say?
Eagles. Eagles play the Giants.
Okay.
They got to win. Because the Eagles are sitting like 4-7 or whatever it is. I mean, you can't.
Eagles are 5-6.
5-6. And the Browns are 6-5. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Kevin, here's yes. If the Browns lose, is their season officially dead? No, absolutely not. But what I will say, and this is what I was talking about last week when I was talking about where two teams are at with the Bengals and the Raiders, the Browns are on a slide.
Disagree.
Slide.
Disagree. Completely disagree. They're coming off a win. You're not sliding if you just won. They just beat Detroit.
A win. They beat Detroit 13-10. They didn't look good at all after getting destroyed by the Patriots.
You didn't even watch the game. And Baker was hobbling around on the field. He could barely finish the game, but they grinded it out. They won.
They grinded it out and won.
They won
against the Detroit Lions, who haven't won a game all season.
They won.
They won. They barely won.
The Lions. I will tell you also. The Lions have like the most one-score losses all season long. I mean, they tied to the Steelers. They lost. They won. They lost by a field goal to the Ravens. Like they're in some of these games. They lost by a field goal to the Bears, less than a field goal to the Bears on yesterday. I mean,
okay,
whatever. I mean, whatever. What do you want to say? Like the teams probably go into it being like, do we need to be guns blazing throwing everything at them? No, we don't. So that's why you're probably seeing a lot of close games. You got to eke it out a win every once in a while, man. It's like this is how it goes. The Browns are not on the slide that the Raiders are on, and also the Raiders just won yesterday, didn't they?
No, yeah, they did.
They beat the Cowboys in overtime. I mean, come on.
Maybe that just means the Bengals are that good of a team. I don't know.
It means that the NFL is a weird league. Crazy things happen. Okay, the Bills, who everybody had as like an AFC Championship lock in the preseason, lost to the Jaguars a couple weeks ago. I mean, things happen in the NFL. It just happens. It's a long season. Teams go through injuries. And I will tell you, this weekend, the Browns are getting Kareem Hunt and they're starting right tackle back. I'm just saying, it's going to be a good game. It's not going to be a blowout. This actually is a good lead into our Power 5. I know we have a limited time today. Want to get into it? We're already talking about one of the games.
Let's get into it. Yeah, let's get into it.
Browns at Ravens, Sunday Night Football. The Ravens are favored by 4 points. I'm taking the Browns because I have to. I wouldn't feel good about myself. And plus, I could see the Browns losing by a field goal. That still gives me the spread. I'm telling you that I think this game specifically, the Browns are going to come out. They got a whole week off afterwards. They're throwing everything they got to win this game. You got to go into the bye on a high note. because then you got to come back and face them right again. Like you got to get this one. I think they're going to come out firing, and I know that Lamar Jackson had a week off because he was sick, but I don't know, man. What do you think about this game? I'm not feeling good because you never feel good when you're playing the Ravens, especially in Baltimore. But I'm excited for the game because I think it'll be an opportunity for the Browns to show everyone, whether they win or lose, that there's not this like doomsday scenario unfolding before everybody's eyes where Baker's a mess and the team's in shambles. They're not on a slide. I think this is an opportunity for them to show that, and I think they will. That's what I think. There you go. Bingo bongo.
Primetime game.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson's back. He's
Yep.
fresh.
No, we don't know. We don't know that he's fresh.
Hey! Don't interrupt me. I interrupt you.
We don't know he's fresh.
I know he's fresh. I've been talking to the Ravens insiders. Okay, they follow me on Twitter. Primetime game. Lamar Jackson's at least more fresh than he would have been if he played last week. So he's good. He's at least.
I don't
good
know.
There.
He was a little sick. He wasn't healthy enough to play. What do you want me to say to that? If he's not healthy enough to play, maybe he's not training. Maybe he's not working out as much. Who knows? You don't know if he's fresh.
You're not going to let me finish.
That's what she said.
The Ravens are going to win this. The Ravens are going to win this game. The Ravens are going to win this game by at least a touchdown. The Browns' offense has only scored 2 touchdowns in the last 8 quarters. Okay, Ravens' defense are going to hold them again. They got Baker Mayfield is on his last few games with the entire organization, and they're not going to pull it out. This is the beginning of a downward spiral. I'll at least say this. The Ravens are in prime time at home are going to crush the Browns. The Browns will probably spend the next 2 weeks licking their wounds and thinking what they can do differently, and they might come back and beat the Ravens at home 2 weeks from now. But it's the beginning of the end of their season, and it starts Sunday night.
Is there a reason you said 8 quarters and not 2 games? It's a bit of a douchey way to say 2 games.
Well, it sounds better. Actually, if anything...
I also don't know that's true. That's not. It might not be verified.
It's definitely true. It's definitely they only scored one. They lost 45-7 against the Patriots, and they won 13-10 against the Lions. So, they missed a kick. All right, it's not true. They scored 3 touchdowns. Whatever. At least I'm fact checking myself live.
Yes, thank you for that. Moving on.
Moving on.
Oh. I don't have the games in front of me. Oh, Carolina at Miami, I believe. Help me out, buddy. I sent these all to you. I can't change my screen. You know how this goes.
Carolina -2.5.
You moderate this Power 5. I don't want to do this. You're taking a week off.
I don't remember what the other game. You tell me the matches. I can give you the setup of everything.
This is not going to go well. But okay.
I'm using my phone.
So Carolina's in Miami. What's the spread?
It's Carolina -2.5.
So I'm taking Miami here, and I'll tell you why.
Oh, Cam fanboy bandwagon? You're falling off the cart so soon?
You've completely misplaced my opinion on Cam. Sometimes you hear what you want to hear, buddy. Anyway, as I was saying, I'm taking Miami, and the only reason I am is because I think that the Dolphins' defense. What's wrong? Something wrong? I think the Dolphins' defense, the way they affected. Oh shit! I should have. Sometimes when you have a podcast show, preparation is a good thing to do. But maybe it's just all the turkey in my belly and the stuffing. That's
Miami's off. Miami's won three games in a row. They beat the Texans, Ravens, and the Jets. And held each of those. They held the Ravens to 10 points, the Texans to 9 points, the Jets to 7.
Thank you very much. That's all I needed. The way they blitzed and impacted Lamar Jackson was telling to me, and I think that if they can do it to Lamar, they can do it to Cam. That's why I'm taking Miami. And they're at home. And they've won 3 straight. Tua. Gesicki.
I also took Miami, and for that exact same logic, I'm not even lying, and I put my picks in early so you know that I wasn't just copying you. But I think that Cam is a very poor man's Lamar Jackson. And if they could do that to Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, they will definitely be able to do that to the Panthers. So Miami all the way.
Um, the Los Angeles Rams at the Green Bay Packers. I believe the Rams are favored by 2.5, 2
The Rams are -1 right now.
on
The
what?
Rams.
DraftKings? No, no, that's not accurate. Let's say -1 because if you're -1, you might as well be minus 2.5.
This just shows how close this game is. But anyways,
I've got the Rams coming off a bye. A little bit more time for OBJ to gel with the team. Not that I think he's going to be that impactful, but he's on the field and he's at least he's a distractive piece. They've had 2 weeks to figure it out. Packers are playing. I think they just lost to the Vikings by a field goal. I think you talk about this is one of the final days of Baker being on the Browns. This is absolutely one of the last days of Aaron being on the Packers. I mean, that writing's been on the wall forever. And I think that you string a couple losses in a row, he's going to stop caring altogether, especially if he's getting a bunch of flack from everybody still. Aaron Rodgers is a funky cat, that's for sure.
First off, Aaron Rodgers is not going to stop caring. Okay, he's.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying. I don't mean.
You said it.
I don't mean it like that. I don't mean he's going to be all of a sudden be like, oh, you know what? This season's shot. I'm done. I'm not saying that. But the Packers have shown that they're vulnerable. They can lose to. I personally think the Packers are better than the Vikings. Well, they just lost to them. I think they were on the road. They were in Minnesota.
They were in Minnesota and they lost by a field goal at the last minute.
I'm taking the Rams. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by any means. I mean, hell, you just watched the Rams 2 weeks ago get crushed by the 49ers. That came out of nowhere. But I'm taking the Rams only because they're the fresher team at the moment. And they've still got a great offense. I think Stafford's going to come back and play much better than he did 2 weeks ago. And I think with Aaron Jones still being a little bit banged up, even though he might play, I'm taking the Rams.
It's going to be 35 degrees in Lambeau Field, and that California team. It's going to not be able to play in the cold. Matt Stafford never does well in Lambeau. He's on a different team now, I get it, but he just doesn't play up there. They have his number. Packers are going to win this game. They don't lose. They don't lose home games after Thanksgiving.
What?
The weekend after Thanksgiving, they don't lose home games. At the very least, they tie. That's most they do. Packers.
Thank you. Gotcha. Okay. Next one is I think we have the Cincinnati game in there. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. And I believe
no.
Okay, Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. And
Cincinnati beat Pittsburgh at Pittsburgh. Just so you know.
You want to do this? You have it in front of you. Give it to me.
Okay. It's Cincinnati -3.5, and it's Pittsburgh in Cincinnati.
Guess who I took?
You took the Steelers.
The Steelers have had 5 games this year where they have fallen into points. It's not skill. It's happenstance. They swat a ball or like it gets tipped by some jabroni's helmet and they walk it into the end zone, defensive score. The Steelers are a fraudulent team. They are not as good as their record. They are not as good at football as anyone in this city where we are would say. Cincinnati. I'm taking them. I think they're going to win by double digits. Yeah.
Well, I would certainly love to see that. And I'm also taking the Bengals. I mean, I can't. How can I not take the Bengals?
Or they'll sack Burrow and they'll break his leg and it'll ruin his career. One or the other. They'll either win by double-digit points or you'll be looking for a new quarterback next year. Alex Smith level injury. That's what I'm calling it. One of those two things.
I mean,
what do you think of that?
That's what I was going to say. So thanks for stealing all my thunder there, because I think that the Bengals are going to beat the Steelers. The only thing I'm worried about is that dirty team hurting our players. That was the only thing I was going to say.
Who's your backup quarterback?
It's
Just
it's I think it's Jeff Driscoll still.
uh, perfect. Jeff,
No, it's Brandon Allen.
there's another Allen. There's another quarterback named Allen in the league.
Brandon Allen. I just looked it up. It was Jeff Driscoll, I think, but they cut him, and they cut Finley too. Brandon Allen. We our season is
Wait a
over
minute.
before
Wait
I
a
even
minute.
start.
Wait a minute. Not to derail here. They cut
Yeah.
Driscoll and they cut Finley. The two guys that they crammed in front of Andy Dalton on his freaking birthday and benched his ass just to give those guys a test run to see what they had. And then another cut from the team. Give me a
Zach
break. That
Zach
organization's a
Taylor.
friggin' joke. How do you do that to Andy Dalton? It's Andy Dalton, I get it. I make fun of him here and there, but that dude's a franchise leader in so many categories, and the disrespect that from 2 years ago, I can't believe that still. I'm still appalled by that. You don't treat your franchise guy like that. That coaching staff, they're out of touch, man. I can't believe that shit. And you cut the
I
guys
don't.
too. At least keep Driscoll on or Finley on to be your guy for the rest, your backup for the rest of time. You do that because you like Finley, not because you just want to see if he's got any juice. You know you're going to get Burrow in the draft. That was
They didn't
complete.
like Finley.
That was bogus, man. I can't believe. I still can't believe that shit.
I was also somewhat frustrated at the time, but I will say, winning cures all wounds, and the
It doesn't
the
change the
potential of the
past,
Bengals.
but it doesn't change the past, Scotty. That still happened. There's still
Well,
the coaching staff that
Zach
was
Taylor,
there.
Zach Taylor came in with a plan, and I'm being very careful with my words here, okay? Because I'm not just overtly, championing Zach Taylor, but I will say he came in with a plan to truly demolish and rebuild this team. So he took a lot of the veterans from the previous era, and we've documented my feelings on this in the old podcast. We had a plan, and that plan didn't involve any of the veterans on the current roster because they were past their prime and they wanted to start over with a new core of people. And they're building that core now. So despite the fact that they might have, treated some of Marvin Lewis's guys a little poorly, it wasn't their guys. They wanted to move on, and so they did. They moved on in the way that they knew how, and it is working so far. It
It's
is working because if they win this week, they're going to be 7-4, and I think I was the only one that was saying that this is a possibility that could have happened this season, and now it's coming to fruition.
Scotty. It's not about them being Marvin Lewis's guys. It's Bengals Nation's guys. Andy Dalton was an institution in Cincinnati for a damn near decade. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Forget Marvin Lewis. Forget having a plan. You already had him starting for half the season. For no reason, you bench him just to do what? All you do is kill morale. The Finley sucked. They all sucked. They didn't do anything that season. They were like, I don't even. People literally said they're tanking because they want the number one pick. That's what kind of you don't do that to your guy, man.
Yes, you do.
That's a
You know
franchise
what? You know what?
guy.
I'm gonna call some hypocrisy on you here right now because they basically did the exact same thing that the Green Bay organization's doing with their quarterbacks. With Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers, and you were like, you were all bent out of shape or about that by saying, hey, the organization should try to move on and they should try to draft for the future. They should plan for.
This
Who
is
cares what
very
it does to
different.
your? It's not different. It's the same exact thing.
They didn't draft. They didn't draft. They didn't draft Finley to be the heir apparent. They were just testing
They
things
didn't
out.
know.
They were
They
like, "We
didn't know what they
suck right
had.
now. Let's throw stuff at the wall and see what happens." And by doing that, you disrespect your franchise passing leader, the guy that's gotten you to the playoffs like 4 or 5 times.
Oh, but it's okay if the Packers disrespect Aaron Rodgers when Aaron Rodgers can still very much win today. But it's okay to disrespect him
The
because
Packers
the
didn't
organization's
disrespect Aaron
responsible for
Rodgers.
the future. They
They
absolutely did.
by
They
what? By doing
absolutely
what?
did. By drafting Jordan Love, they did not need a quarterback,
Oh,
and they will never use Jordan Love.
Finley was a first round draft pick. Jeff Driscoll was a first round draft pick.
Okay, Andy Dalton is going to lead them to the future. They needed to see who. They needed to see what was
He
going to happen.
was their present. You're already planning for the future. You're planning on drafting a quarterback the following year. They already knew that. What I'm saying
But you
is,
wouldn't get your quarterback if you didn't lose. They had to be the number one pick to
so
get
you're
him.
saying that they did do that to tank.
I hope they did. I hope they did. And it was a great thing that they did. I was rooting for them to get the number one pick because I wanted Joe Burrow because he's gonna take the Bengals to the promised land and he's gonna be in the Hall of Fame. So yeah, for them to lose kind of throw in the towel for a season in order to make all those possibilities happen for the next 20 years, yeah, you take the L's, man. Why wouldn't you?
Because these are people. This is a team.
Oh yes,
Oh
poor
my
Andy
gosh.
Dalton, who got to play on Thanksgiving Day and against the Bears just yesterday. He's doing just fine. Okay, he's not. He would have been way worse if he was still in Cincinnati right
You
now.
got no heart, man. You got no heart. You got no feelings.
I got
You don't
feelings.
know what it's like to be on a team. Okay, next one. Next game. I don't remember what the last one is. Are we on the last one?
I think we're on the last one. It was the Vikings 49ers, I think.
Oh, okay. I think the 49ers are favored, right?
It is San Francisco -3, and it's playing in San Francisco.
I will just come out and say I believe I took the Vikings, and it's mostly because of their performance last week beating the Packers. I mean, they're playing really well right now. When that offense is healthy, they're really good and they're really hard to beat. I mean, you got tons of offensive weapons. Their defense is playing well enough. I just think that they're in a good they have a lot of momentum right now. So you ride that train. I mean, you can say the same thing about Jimmy G. I mean, he's had a couple good games in a row here, but yeah, I like the Vikings on the road.
I like the Vikings to win this too. And here's a crazy thing about the Vikings. Okay, so Vikings record, they're 5-5 right now, which is pretty mediocre. The first two games of the season, they lost at Cincinnati to a game-ending field goal. They lost at Arizona, 34-33 by 1 point. They lost against Cleveland by a touchdown. They lost against the Cowboys by 4 points. They lost against the Ravens in a last-minute field goal too. That's their 5 losses. They lost to playoff caliber teams.
That's a tough schedule.
Really close. That's a tough schedule. And so their record does not indicate how good that team is. And I think that they're better than the 49ers.
Yeah. I think we're on the same page here. Wow, that was quick. Good job. Bucket time. Helmets.
Me too. You ready?
I'm ready. My Jags did not pull it out last week. But, easy come, easy go, eh?
Yeah,
Nick, this is Nick's.
Great.
Oh, Nick's.
Okay,
Okay, just recap from last week. Detroit lost, so Nick's in the hole. The Broncos were on a bye, so Scotty, you're good. Andrew had who? We'll find out later. And I had the Jags who lost. So, yeah, go for it.
Okay. Well, quick thing to clarify with the rules here, because we have had 6 teams play already. So if you draw a helmet of a Thanksgiving game, what do we want to? Do we just take the result of what that team was? So if the team won, it's a free pass. If the team lost, then it's an L. Or do we want to say?
No, yeah, that's it. That's the scoop.
All right, Nick first.
He's shaking the cauldron. His hands are in there. Although he didn't. No, the Giants. So the Giants are playing Philadelphia. At home. Oh, they're at home. It's weird. Like the Giants are beatable, or they can win some games. They can surprise you. But if I'm Nick, I mean the Eagles just beat New Orleans pretty badly. So yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not keeping the Giants.
Not doing it either. Yep. Now this is the challenge with the second pool. If there's 3 teams, you automatically have to do it.
It's the bucket. There are 3 wins in there. I mean, honestly, it's net neutral. The Chargers. The Chargers play. Oh, Scotty, help me out here.
They play the Broncos in Denver.
Hey, I know he's a Broncos guy, but I think he'd be happy with that.
I like that more than the Giants.
Yeah, the Chargers they're coming off a good Sunday night win against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Andrew time.
All right, Andrew.
Andrew's got a lot of work to do. He's like 4 inconveniences in the hole. He's got a lot of making up to do. Maybe he'll double up on some of these. Oh, the Eagles. I'm keeping it. I would keep it. Would you? Knowing that there's 3 losses, immediate losses.
Eagles against the Giants. I'm keeping that.
Philly. All right, Scott. Let's see what you got, buddy. I wish you well. The
boys.
boys who just
They already
lost.
lost.
Oh, he's tossing it back
Yeah.
in. Oh, good.
I'm
Hey,
not taking a guarantee though.
this is good that we established that rule early. Thank you for bringing it up because I completely forgot. We actually didn't go over the teams that are on a bye week this week, which are the
That's it.
Chiefs,
And the Cardinals.
Chiefs and the Cardinals. Oh, okay. Little silence there for you, just to reflect.
Oh.
The Bears. Who won?
Hey, the Bears.
Hey.
All right.
All right. Two free passes in a row for Scotty. All right. All right.
All
Let's.
right, here we go.
Yep. Shake the dice and stir the rice. Let's go, buddy. Oh, the Texans play the Jets. Ooh, interesting.
Oh, that's a question.
And you know the
That's not
Texans
an
had
automatic.
it. The Texans looked pretty good against the you know who's. Um,
They're
I'm
in. They're in Houston.
I'm gosh. There are three instant deaths still available. I'm gonna toss it back.
Tossing it back. All
Because
right.
listen, Zach Wilson's back. You never know what could happen. Like it's the Texans. Maybe it's lightning in a bottle. They were coming off a bye last week. Maybe they were ultra prepared. I can't trust the Texans. Let's go. Let's roll
All
it
right.
again. Let's spin the wheel. The wheel of doom. I want to reach my hand in there every once in a while. The Bucks, the Tampa Bay
Bucks.
Buccaneers, play the.
Colts. Oh, that's in Indiana. That's going to be a tough game. I mean,
Indianapolis.
that's a game they could win for sure, but that's not a gimme.
I'll keep it.
You don't have a choice.
But I'll still keep it.
Okay.
All right. Let's do it, Scotty. What are you thankful for? Thanksgiving edition. Hooray! Stuffing and cranberry sauce, turkeys, and American holidays. What are you thankful for, buddy, in the sports world? What are you
All right.
thankful for?
Thankful for in the sports world. I got a few things off the top of my head. Very thankful, and it kind of went under the radar as these things typically do. But I'm thankful that Bryce Harper won the MVP this year, which is a pretty big deal. So it's always good to have one of your favorite team stars get the right accolades. Very thankful for Ohio State football turning it around at the kind of rough start of the beginning of the season. The fact that they're going in tomorrow, ranked number 2, and have a good chance at maybe making the Big Ten championship and potentially playoffs too. So thankful for that. And I have to be thankful for the Cincinnati Bengals season so far. Like we've been talking about this entire podcast, the fact that they're 6-4, they've won more games this season than they had the past 2 seasons combined. That is proof that the rebuild is working. They're on a good trajectory, a lot of hope. Even if the rest of the season doesn't go as the way it possibly should or can go, still is the season I would say is a complete victory. So for those things, I'm thankful.
I'm thankful. Thank you for asking. I'm thankful for 2 things. I'm thankful for many things, but the 2 I will mention here. One is, and it's not recent news, but before the NHL season kicked off, the Wild agreed to I think it was a 4 or 5 year contract with Kirill Kaprizov, who's a very good up and coming star, very good offensive talent. Very, very happy for the core group of Wild players, and I'm actually really grateful that they protected Matt Dumba as well. Who's a good young defenseman, because they could have lost him to the Kraken in the expansion draft. So I'm very thankful for my boy Spurgeon. You got Kevin Fiala. They got a good group of guys. Even though, as you hear over the weekend or recently, they were late. I think it was maybe even yesterday or 2 days ago. They were late to a game. Like the whole team, like the team bus, was caught in New York traffic going to a Devils game. The Devils, they were nice and they pushed the game back, but they should have been like, sorry, man. I don't know how the rules go. I don't know what the NHL would have done, but anyway, not thankful for the travel coordinator, but very thankful for a group of players that I'm excited to watch for the next couple of years. And how could I mean, of course, I'm thankful for the Cleveland Browns leadership, Stefanski, and of course, my boy Baker. Take the good with the bad, and there's plenty of good, and there's some bad. There's leadership on this team, and there's no all of the drama around the Browns. It's all out here. It's all out on the periphery. All of us schmoes talking about shit. In the building, they're focused on winning games. And Baker and Miles and Stefanski, they have a mission and they're going after it. It's something that the Browns have not had in a long time. And I am thankful. I am any Browns fan out there. And you know what's funny? I got to say this one thing too. I'm on Twitter. I'm on these, listening to people talk about educated people about the NFL, talking about the NFL and the current state of the Browns. Everybody's talking about Browns fans need to be more appreciative. Browns fans, whatever, like giving up on Baker. That's not happening. I don't know why they're saying that. It's not happening. These people are not connected to the city of Cleveland and people to watch those games. People are happy. I mean, it's from my perspective. Who am I? I don't talk to everybody, but we're we are all very, very grateful for this team and this owner and this leadership that we have now, because we haven't had any of it. It's been desolate. It's been a wasteland, a deserted wasteland of just incompetency and horrible football. On this Thanksgiving, I'm very, very, very thankful for the Browns. Is that it?
I guess that's it. There you go.
Okay. Well, the top three. I hate.
I thought you said we were doing that instead of the top three.
Did I say instead? I hate the top
Yeah,
three.
you said the things, but you just went off.
Should we not do one?
No, I think we're done with the top threes. I think that's it.
Forever?
Well, until we want to bring it back. Nothing's ever banned on this show. But,
Except prejudice.
Yes, and hate speech.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And the Michigan fanhood.
Yeah. No, not and Penn State fanhood too. Honestly, I hate Penn State more than I hate Michigan. I just do.
Top three most hated sports organization. Then refresh my memory. Humor me, buddy.
Okay.
You should make this. You make it quick. You don't have to stand on ceremony here. Just go for it.
Well, is the question just college football teams or all of sports?
All of sports.
Oh gosh.
Oh come on!
Right.
You know this like the back. You have it tattooed on your back.
Three is the hardest because it's Penn State and then it's Michigan, but the third, probably the Mets. Braves are more like
the world champions, the World Series champion Braves. Put a little respect on that name.
But no. You know what? No. You know what? Cardinals are number 3. Done with them.
What the hell? What a turn of events.
Yeah.
I didn't even mention them.
I know. If you give me a few seconds to think about it, it all comes back. 10 years, man. 10 years ago.
Well, give me one then. Give me one.
All right. Well, shoot.
We said what we were grateful for. Now we've flipped the switch to hate. Give me some hate related things. Not hate speech. It's banned.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no place for that here.
Okay. Top 3 least favorite. Top 3 least favorite athletes. Just athletes as a person. Like least favorite. Who the people?
I'm gonna exclude people that have been convicted for crimes because it's a little easy.
Yeah.
Let
me tell you. Let me give you a refined question. Okay. Top 3 least favorite athletes that are otherwise beloved.
Oh, otherwise beloved. This is a hard one because it's the person. You got to choose the right people. Can you filibuster here? Give me a minute or two. I mean, shit. Yeah, I have one. I've got my one.
Well, as you talk through, I'll say the reason why I thought of this question is because the Cardinals are a team that I think generally most baseball fans like the Cardinals. They've not been a team or an organization that's had dirty tactics. They've always been kind of good. Fans, I will say, Cardinals fans are some of the nicest people I've ever met. When I go to baseball games and the Cardinals are playing whatever team they're visiting fans, they're so nice. They're like do anything for you. but I hate the Cardinals, and I will always hate the Cardinals because what they did to me in 2011. And so, that's just going to be there for me. So I don't know, Kev. Does that help spurn any ideas for you?
It got me one. Yeah, it did give me one. And I'll tell you what, that Cardinals team, we could do a whole podcast on this. But if you beat them, if you beat teams, you deserve to win. Am I wrong? Well,
What?
you say like that year of the Phillies, they won 100 games, like they should have won. It was
They
theirs
won.
to win.
Yeah, they won. They won. They beat the Cardinals in that year. They beat them like 8-2 during the regular season, and there just was some shenanigans that happened. And Ryan Howard got hurt in that playoff game. So it shouldn't have occurred. If the Phillies got over that hump of the Cardinals in 2011, they would have won the World Series, and that would have capped off one of the most amazing seasons in not just franchise history but MLB history. Which it's just the travesty. It will live with me forever. I'll be telling my kids and grandkids about the fateful year of 2011. And also, you know what? That's the year that Michigan beat Ohio State. What a horrible year! What a horrible year. Yeah, let's.
Thanks for thanks
Yeah,
for thanks for circling back on that one.
yeah.
Okay.
What, 40 to 34. All right.
These
Now
have
you got
these
me
have
angry.
these have to be athletes, right?
Yes.
All right. I've got my 1 and 2, and then I've got my third place spot has 2. Is that okay? Changing the rules here.
You've always accosted us when we don't do top three because
Yeah.
I always say top three, man. Top three.
All right. Fine.
You gotta make them quick.
Okay. Quick. And these are not in any particular order, although they are. I'm going to start with 3, and I'm going to say
Okay.
Ray Lewis.
Hmm.
Number 2.
Okay.
Well, I don't know if I want to do 2. I don't know which one. I don't know which one will be more fun and surprising to you. Both of the top number 1 and number 2 are pretty damn good. You know what? One's a little bit less so. Lionel
Spit
Messi.
it out.
Lionel Messi.
Oh, you hate Messi?
Hate him. I'm a Ronaldo guy. Real Madrid all the way. Barcelona sucks. I hate Barcelona. Barcelona is they're absolutely my top 10 my personal most hated sports organizations. Absolutely.
You're that passionate about it that you would say that you'd hate Messi.
I hate Barcelona more than I love Real Madrid. How about that?
Wow. What have they done to you?
That's not the point.
Different time.
Number 1. Although I said Messi was number 1, but 1 and 2, whatever. This whole list is all whatever. It's all made up. Heinz Ward.
Oh yeah.
And along with Heinz Ward, that whole era of Steelers, they can all go, you know what? But Heinz Ward, I still say this to this day, and I'll never. This is a hill I am willing to die on. Heinz Ward is one of the dirtiest players in NFL history. Back before they even had like helmets and shit. When like the hits were like there was no rules at all. You could just hit anybody you want. Heinz Ward surpasses all that stuff. And you get up and smile about it. Like it's all a big freaking joke to him. You just ruined some guy's life. He's eating out of a tube now. And he's like smiling and all the fans waving their stupid little diaper towels. Heinz keeps on smiling. As long as he's smiling, we're okay. Fuck Heinz Ward. I hate Heinz Ward. Palomalu too. He's a jabroni as well. He's only good because of his hair. And the evidence, the proof's in the pudding. The only reason Palomalu's even in our lives anymore, Head and Shoulders commercials. I mean, come on, dude. You're not shaking your head. Yes, I know you feel the same way about this. Palomalu was only good because of his hair. Anybody can jump over the center when the play clock's at 0. Everybody can do that. It's not special. Oh, he's got these instincts. Baloney. Full-on baloney sandwich. I'm not buying it. Heinz Ward sucks. Can't stand him. Sucks. Antonio Brown, if he didn't lose his mind and actually was like a good like entertainment, although it's quite sad what's happening to him. I think he's got some serious issues that need to be dealt with. Stomping on the Browns kicker, the punter on a return, and like everybody's like no flags, no nothing. He stomped on his face. You can't do that. He extended his leg. He stomped his face in. And they're my chat's going nuts. Everybody's like, oh yeah, all these Steelers fans creaming their pants over this shit. It's an illegal move. He's trying to hurt the guy. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? And he's shaking his ass in the end zone like it's some big fucking accomplishment. Steelers suck. I hate the Steelers.
I hate the Steelers too. I
Sorry,
agree with
I
that.
just exploded all over your face right there. Sorry about that
I
phrasing.
agree with everything. I agreed with I agreed with everything that you just said.
Oh, I'm hot. I'm
The only
hot.
the only the only thing, and this is why this is what a great weekend for the
Oh,
sports,
TJ
because
Watt? Are you
now
kidding me? Oh yeah, TJ Watt. You know, good for
and the
I
Bengals.
love Le'Veon Bell for standing up to that trash organization. You pay me. I'm here working my ass off. You're gonna franchise tag me twice? Well, I'm not coming. And now he's the bad guy, and everybody's like, "Ah, your career is over. Oh, you were nothing after this deal." Give me a break. He stood up to them, and I love that. You pay the man. He's a big deal to your franchise. Give me a break, Tomlin. Rooney's. What is this? Nate, tell me anybody else in the Steelers organization. All frauds. The whole team's a joke. I'm done with this. I can't stop. Stop me, Scotty. Say something.
I like Cam Hayward. Cam Hayward's a decent player,
He's an Ohio,
and
and you know what? I do like the Shazier.
I'm
You
I
never
don't
want to
know.
see that. I mean, come on, you never want to see
You don't,
that.
but you don't. But that's what really made me mad about that game. And I'm obviously, I mean, I love Ryan Shazier as an Ohio State player. He was a good opponent as a Steeler. You never want to see someone get injured, and particularly a life-altering injury like that.
Never, yeah.
You don't want to, but he did not tackle properly there. That was a bad attempt at a tackle, and that game in particular, that game against the Bengals in particular, the Steelers were like legitimately cheap shotting Bengals players. That was when they were like those rosters hated each other. Okay, so
Perfect help. You can't. So you can't
no,
get. Well, leave Shazier alone. Why even say that?
no.
Why even say that? What's the point of saying that? Getting on Shazier about his tackling. And the guy's like, I'm sure he'd take it back
Because
too.
he was he was trying to do a dirty move. He was leading with his head. He was trying to hurt somebody, and he messed up, and he cost himself, his whole career, and he risked himself not being able to walk because he was just trying to, hurt somebody else by tackling really poorly, trying to lead with your head. You just can't do it.
We should we should have
That type,
we should have started with this and then ended with the thankful stuff. Because now we
yeah,
just
no,
this
no, we're
all
all
like sounds
hot.
like sour
You,
grapes. We're all hot. We're all like messed up and angry.
But here's the thing, and you kept going on your rant as I
I
was
know.
trying to talk. You cut me
Sorry.
off again. I was trying to bring this back around in a positive light. What's nice though, and this is what's really cool about this week in particular for us, but specifically me, is we have the Ohio State Michigan game tomorrow, Steelers Bengals, Sunday. This is rivalry weekend, baby. So
Oh,
we've got
Browns Ravens. Yeah.
Browns Ravens. So we've got an opportunity to see our teams really take it to teams that we don't like very much. So
Or lose
let's
badly.
just hope. Let's hope that happens.
Or
But yeah,
lose embarrassingly. Lose with. We could
let's.
also see all of our teams lose in shame, and it
Yeah,
would be deserved shame.
it would be deserved shame. We might not post this video, in fact.
Well, it might never get posted anyway. So,
It's fine. All
Scotty,
right.
Messi sucks. Heinz
Didn't
Ward.
know that. I didn't know. I didn't know how bad you disliked them. I will. I'll be sure to dig into that more.
There you go. Have
Yeah.
fun digging. Thank you for sticking it out with us. That is the end of this episode. Uh, uh, that's it, actually. I don't have anything else after that. Are you going to
They've
change up
stopped
the
watching
hat every
long
once
ago.
in a while? Are you going to
This is the Bengals victory hat. I wear the podcast immediately following a Bengals victory. So that's why you've been seeing me wear this a lot. It's to a point where you have to mention if I'm going to change it up because they keep winning.
Hey, don't
So
forget, there was not too long ago, Scotty. There was a story of a guy that promised he wasn't going to leave his roof until the Bengals won a game, and he was up there for several months. So that was not too long ago. That was like 2018 or something. So hey, man.
all right, it's the beginning of a new era. It's a
All
new
right.
day for Who Day, right? All right.
Are you serious? All right. We're closing with that. Au revoir. I can't believe I got so mad.
Dude, you walk.
It's Heinz Ward. It's not even anybody else. It's just Heinz Ward. I don't even hate Polamalu that much. I do stand by everything I said about him being overrated. He was obviously a good player. He's a Hall of Famer. But Heinz Ward just gets me going, man. He grinds my gears. And AB, those teams, they were disrespectful. There's no cordialness. There's no like respect between the players and stuff. I don't like that. It's only good when you have really good football games to go along with it. For all that whole period of time, and I know you want to get going, but for that whole period of time, the Steelers were also beating up on the Browns. It was like, we know we're going to beat you, we do beat you, and then in the course of beating you, we shit all over you, and we tell you we didn't even really need to show up today, but we're here because we know you guys need some practice. So we're going through it in the motions. That's why I dislike all those teams. You don't have to do it like that. There's a nice way to do it.
It was like the movie The Little Giants, you know? It was Cowboys versus the Giants.
The
That's what it
bullies.
felt like for like 15 years, you know?
Yeah, well,
Yeah. Rick Moranis was your head coach.
I'll always have
Probably could have been.
I'll always have the 2020 playoffs. Scotty, goodbye. This is officially the goodbye. Happy Thanksgiving, my friend.
Hey, what time? I know we said 9, but are you still planning on coming over 9? Totally fine. Just want to make sure.
9:30ish. I'll be there with bells on.
Cool. All right. See you, Lane.
Bye. All right. So if you've listened this far, you must, for some reason, like what you've heard. So, given that, please remember to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at ObsessionCast for all future episode updates and whatever else we might post, sports related or otherwise. Thanks for watching.